Greetings, and welcome to my short video about the emergence of exciting electronics in everyday environments. See what I did there? But to narrow the topic a bit, I'd like to explain some underlying frameworks of learning and how they can be coupled with the technology in the field of biology. My goal with this video is to show you some cool and helpful ways to use existing technology, explain some of the different learning approaches, and finally, give you some suggestions on how to pair these two together. The whole world is embracing mobile technology, with a constant rise in the use and ownership of high-end equipment like smartphones, and volume of people able to access the internet from portable devices. Though there is still a great divide between the global south and north, one aspect of which can be summarized with the phrase affordability versus affordances. These two terms are used to describe how accessible and how useful the service is. With a high affordability, an item is highly accessible. In monetary terms, it means it's comparatively inexpensive. With a high affordance, an item can be useful or versatile, and as such is often expensive. So in a natural setting, these two terms have an inverse relationship. It is the high affordance devices that bring concepts such as mobile learning and seamless learning to life. Contemporary learning necessitates compatibility with modern society, so allow me to take a moment to discuss what these terms mean and some of the associated pedagogies. Information transmission. This is usually characterized as a student-teacher relationship, with information being a unidirectional stream to the student. Social constructivism, developed by Lev Vygotsky, is when you work collaboratively to create and share pieces of information, with each member taking on a hybrid role of student-teacher. Situated learning, pedagogy that places importance on the context and environment when learning. That is, when learning about plants, instead of viewing pictures of them in a classroom, take an excursion into the forest and experience a more immersive environment. This incidentally pairs well with my last method, embodied learning, a strategy that revolves around incorporating your body into learning activities. For example, when learning about plants in a forest, try rubbing the leaves between your fingers to feel the different textures, or smelling the odors of various tree saps, or even just walking around. These are all things that have been shown to improve information retention and understanding. Seamless learning is the idea that a person has the ability to learn wherever they are. They need only to take advantage of their existing knowledge and what's at their disposal. The advent of smartphones has certainly helped this philosophy. Individually, each approach is generally limited in the results it can achieve, but when combined, they make for an effective method of learning. With the background info covered, let's move on to how a budding biologist may assist with their own studies. Ebooks can be amazing. Scientific readings can be dense and confusing, and carrying textbooks into a field can be impractical. Ebooks are a great way to deal with this problem. Glossaries, page memory, highlighting important text, and even inbuilt quizzes. All useful things. Books are great because they can be used in both transmission and social construction methodologies. QR codes are great for compressing vast amounts of information. You can attach codes to plants or specimens, and at a glance bring up entire virtual libraries about it. Everything from name and origin to diagrams of cell structures and nutrient requirements. These are great because they are able to utilize situated and embodied learning. Augmented reality programs that can identify plants are becoming a reality. Picture this, a plant identification app may be useful in identifying unfamiliar species, and once identified, it'll bring up general information and care instructions. While augmented reality is in an awkward spot at the moment, it's progressing quickly, and again uses situated and embodied learning. And lastly, environmental apps like Climate Watch can be a great tool, giving you access to real-time data on species locations and their current phenotypes. This is another situated learning method. Side note, the app, Plant vs Zombies, as I understand it, is designed to simulate plant effectiveness in a post-civilization environment. Its learning methods are uncertain at the moment, but it's addictive. Which brings us to the next chapter, dealing with some of the drawbacks of technology. It can be easy to assume that a learning method suitable in one manner will be equally useful in another. When using mobile devices to further your education, it is important to remember that you've stripped away some of the different pedagogies. Because of this, you should try to supplement others in their place wherever you can. This can include things such as taking what you're learning into a social environment to confer and discuss with others, or trying to include some physical interaction. Some tools are designed to be interacted with to stimulate different parts of the brain, like this Tego robot is designed to do. I've depicted it here without its fur, which in my opinion makes it substantially less creepy. And lastly, read up on UNESCO's recommendations for learning spaces and discover how they can pertain to your needs. You may find you're battling your environment just to stay focused. This brings me to the end of my presentation, so thank you very much for listening, and have a great day.